Hey there, I'm going to talk today about on the beam and off the beam. And so I'm Diane Cunningham Ellis. I'm excited to share about this with you because this can be very, very powerful, can be really, really huge. I actually have it hanging on the wall here in my office. I bought this from a woman who does calligraphy. And then I just actually found an article, couple articles, lots of articles about this very topic. And yeah, so on the beam, off the beam. For me, just before I even look at these, it just really is a great concept to help me know, well, where I am in my emotional sobriety and where I am in my day. So on the beam, you can figure is like I'm centered. I'm centered. I am good. I am feeling some serenity. I'm feeling some peace, maybe some productivity. And again, I'll read to you from the list here in a minute, but I'm just off the cuff sharing with you my thoughts. Off the beam, woo! We know what that feels like, and this is really a good barometer for you. This comes from the 12-step rooms. I did not make this up. I wish I was that smart, but I am smart. But this came long before me. So off the beam means I feel anxious, I feel fearful, I feel depressed, I feel like I'm comparing myself to other people. I'm in anger and resentment. So you can begin to realize when and where you're feeling these things. And I want you to begin practicing this even today. It's so simple. It's so simple. Just really kind of looking and feeling, doing a physical check-in, doing a self-assessment. We call it an inventory. And we're called to do it in a big way in the 12-step rooms, but I am called to do it in all the ways in my life. I want to live in the on the beam section. So let me just read from that side. When I'm on the beam, I'm in honesty. I'm in faith. I am being considerate. I have some humility. I'm able to be giving, have calm, grateful, be in patience, tolerance. I am able to choose forgiveness when I'm on the beam. I'm able to be like practicing loving behaviors. Self-forgetfulness. That's good because here's the deal. Our favorite subject, I have it over there on my wall. What is it? Our favorite subject is ourself. And we like to talk about ourselves, think about ourselves, focus on ourselves. And so self-forgetfulness is actually really good because when I get outside of myself, I'm serving the world. Humility is on the beam. Modesty. Self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness is really huge. It's important. Trust. Moderation. Action. Acceptance and courage. Okay, so these are the on the beam list. The on the beam list. And in this side, I'm going to be feeling much better. I'm going to be feeling much better when I'm on the beam. So then the second side, this is our opposite side. And so this is when I'm in dishonesty. Now, none of us want to say we're dishonest, but a lot of times we maybe are muffling, hiding our feelings. So dishonest, fear. When I'm off the beam, I get into fear. When I'm off the beam, I'm being inconsiderate. None of us want to admit any of this, right? Like, yuck. This is yucky. I'm in pride. I am in greed. Off the beam, I'm in anger. I'm in resentment. None of us want to admit any of this off the beam side, and yet we're human and we deal with it daily, right? And so the more I'm honest about when I'm on the beam, off the beam, the more I can be in awareness and make a change. I can change what I'm aware of. And I'm going to go back to what we use is this diagram here. And if I'm in awareness, which is the first A, that gives me the room to move to the next one, clarity. Awareness, clarity, tracking, investigation, options, and nurturing. So if I'm over here in off the beam, envy, then I'm looking around and wishing I was you. No good can come from that because I'm me. You're you. Okay, impatient. Over here, I'm impatient. I want everything now and yesterday. I don't want to do the work. I don't want to do any work. I just want it. Over here, I'm intolerant. I'm intolerant, and I am in judgment, and I am chastising you or doing the sniper attack on social media. Over here, I'm in, we already talked about it, but resentment. It goes right along with anger. I'm in hate. I'm in self-pity. This is, woe is me road is what we call it. Woe is me road. I don't want to live there. Wow, it's painful there because I'm sitting there thinking I'm worse than. I am comparing myself. I'm feeling incompetent. I'm getting into the imposter syndrome. Okay, so self-pity, self-justification, self-importance, these are all off the beam. Self-condemnation. This is, in the 12-step rooms, we call this morbid reflection. So really just beating ourselves to a bloody pulp and putting ourselves out to pasture almost. Self-condemnation, suspicion, thinking everybody's out to get me. Well, people aren't thinking about you that much, just so you know. That's an inflated sense of self. You are not the best and you are not the worst. You are just one in the middle. You're in the herd. Okay, and suspicion, gluttony. So the opposite of gluttony is moderation. You'll see that here. Opposite of gluttony, moderation. Learning to live with just enough. Action versus sloth. So when I'm off the beam, I'm being slothy. Slothy. No action, no movement, just really probably whining and complaining. Whining and complaining. And the last pieces of off the beam are rejection and feeling frightened. So the opposite of frightened is courage. The opposite of frightened is brave. The opposite of rejection is acceptance. And so this very simple tool, on the beam, off the beam, can really transform your day, your thinking, your life, the way you show up. And I have to check myself. I have to check myself. If I'm off the beam, that's not the minute to send a blast of an email or to frantically do some posting. It's probably time to pause. Pause is our friend. The pause button is our friend, and love and tolerance is our code. Pause, pause, pause. Pause, don't post. Pause and pray. Pause and ponder. Pause and go on a walk. Whatever you need to do so that you are not coming from that place, that off the beam place, because it probably is not the best version of you. Amen? All right. Hopefully this is helpful on the beam, off the beam, and use this accordingly. And I look forward to hearing your feedback. You can find me at DianeCunningham.com. You can see me over there on my YouTube. You can also find me on many of the social media locations that I hang out. And I'm excited to help you to learn and practice these behaviors. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.